So this is a finished example. You guys are gonna get this and this, both activities for you to do. You would turn this in with your final. Okay, so let's just start with this one. This is pencil only. Okay, so highlight, leave white. All right, we got that. Light. Usually when you want an area darker, you're pressing harder, and if you want it lighter, you're lightening up on your pressure. Okay, but this is also a really, like, this is a regular pencil I'm using right now, but if I use the graphite pencils, so 4B is pretty dark. It's not the darkest, and then 2H is pretty light, also not the lightest, but pretty light. So we could go here. Now, I'm gonna go all the way to the darkest, so you're just really filling that in. And you shouldn't see your pencil marks, meaning you're filling it in all the way. Okay. Now we're gonna get a little bit darker here. And I wouldn't just leave this because I have all those strokes, so I'm trying to fill this in, neaten it up, make it really nice. This is, when we were doing your elements and principles, definitely value your lightest lights to your darkest darks. Okay, now I'm gonna go in, get a little bit darker. Okay, and even darker here. And I'm pressing pretty much as hard as I can here, but it's still not as dark as that. Okay, blending using a blending stump that is, I better go get, so blending stumps are over here. You can just grab one. All right, start light. I don't want to do this whole thing because I've got a million things to do. Okay. Then getting a little bit darker. Okay, and what a blending stump does is you are, instead of using your finger, you never want to use your finger because you're putting oils right onto the page. It blends it all nicely together. That's what you're gonna do with this one. Okay, hatching. Hatching is vertical lines. Or you could have gone diagonal, just one way. Okay, and then we're gonna get darker. Cross hatching and darker. You guys get the point, hopefully. So cross hatching, we're going one way. Now automatically, when I'm gonna go this way, it's gonna make it darker. So keep that in mind. I like to use cross hatching when I'm doing things that are really textured. And then stippling is, now you don't have to get loud with it because you're gonna annoy everybody. You can do it really quietly. This is the most time consuming one. Okay, so we're at a certain darkness here. And then we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do the same thing. And how do you think I make this darker? With a different pencil? Huh? More, you're gonna need more dots. Yeah. So it's just gonna take some time. And then darker. So there's that. That'll take you at least a class period, maybe more. Now, the first thing, this is done. This is what it should look like in the end. So here, you're gonna shade in here and try to emulate what's going on here. So we've got, I'm gonna get my 4B for this, darker. This is value, form, contrast. Okay, making this happen. In the end, technically, this is erased. As you can see, it's erased. So when you go to draw it here, you will erase that line. Now, I don't love the blending stump because I think people tend to overuse it. I think it would be not right of me to at least show it to you because I think there is a time and a place. Like, I like to use the blending stump for skin, I like to use it for clothes, but a lot of times people rely on it so much that it actually takes pigment away or lead away. So if you're blending with it, the darker parts get less dark because you're over blending with it. Moving on, doing all these like this, okay? Then the last step would be to actually draw it and then again shade it. So whenever you're dealing with something round, you're rounding it at the bottom. Some people get confused by that, but when I show them, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful you showed me that. Okay, so there's that. Now the cone. And I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not gonna draw this in. I mean, you could, but I already know I'm gonna have to erase that and reshade. Pyramid. I don't love it. To reconfigure. And so on. Okay, now when you're all done with this, just put it to the side, put it in your table folder, done. Moving on to your still life. You go to your Chromebook, you get a photo, you then submit it to me, or at least raise your hand and show me so that I can say, yes, you can do this one, or no, you can't do this one. Now you need to draw it, which this is kind of intimidating. So first of all, I always fold over my paper so I don't see any other fonts, any other things, just my image. So I can see exactly what we're working with here. Okay, now this is more square, this is more rectangle. So what I'm probably gonna do, I'm gonna be a problem solver and just end up doing more fabric and really putting the center of the still life in the center of the paper. Okay, so you're definitely scaling up because the librarian is not going to print you as big as your paper. You have to scale up. So I'm just going to get the big thing right out of the way, which would be the wine bottle. Okay, and I'm going to draw that first. Now, my suggestion to you is not start drawing, shading, and making it perfect Do not do that, you'll regret it. Get proportions down first. Draw everything first, no shading, no highlights, shadows, nothing, because chances are I'm gonna have to erase this and fix it, and then erase it again and fix it some more. So this is about a 2-week project, just so you know. Okay, and we're coming all the way down. Already that's off. And now the thing I like about this is I don't even have to really draw the bottom of the wine glass, or the wine, I should say. Megan, can you answer my phone? Because the apple is right here. Okay.
Last student speaking, how may I help you?
Here.
Who's Sydney Reinhardt?
Oh, you gotta go.
I do?
You gotta go.
Appointment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, he's on the way now.
Okay, and then one thing that really helps me as far as what to draw next is this hourglass touching this apple? Yes, it is. Is this apple touching this, looks like another apple? Yes, it is. But if I were to draw this apple all the way over here, well, that's not right. Pay attention to what is touching each other. Now the wine glass starts down here. It is touching and going over the wine bottle. Okay, and are my proportions right? Is this gonna hit this? Yes, it is. So do you see what I mean by proportions and just getting everything down first? Don't fancy it up yet. Okay, now you are required to use stippling, hatching, cross hatching in this. Okay, and you can use your blending stump if you want. So this background is pretty much pitch black. That's gonna be easy. Time consuming, but not difficult. Okay? Do we have any questions? So, I'm gonna pass out everything you need, and then you'll get started today. All right.